All right, welcome to this explainer. Today we're taking a really close look at something we're calling the anatomy of dignity. Essentially, we're breaking down the absolute foundational concept of rights in political science. If you're focused on truly understanding how our society is held together, the actual legal and moral frameworks that keep everything running smoothly, well, you are exactly in the right place. We're going to keep this simple, highly structured, and straight to the point. Let's just jump right into it.
Think about this for a second. How did we actually get the freedom of speech, or the right to an education, or the right to be treated equally? We interact with these concepts literally every single day, often without even giving them a second thought. You're watching this explainer, maybe sharing your opinion about it online later. That's a right in action. But where do they originate? Because they definitely didn't just appear out of thin air.
And that leads us to a much deeper structural question. Are rights granted to you simply by your birth, just because you exist? Or are they something given to you by the government? Believe it or not, this is a massive, age-old debate in political theory. Today, we're going to navigate our way through this exact academic discussion to figure out the actual mechanics behind our everyday freedoms. So, here is our roadmap for today. Part 1, what are rights? Part 2, their nature and basis. Part 3, human rights. And finally, Part 4, a real-life example.
Okay, starting off with Section 1, what are rights? Let's define our fundamental freedoms.
I really want you to notice the specific language used here. In political science, rights are defined as the facilities and freedoms essential for a person's personality development and a dignified life. Essential, that's the key word. We're not talking about mere perks or bonuses given out by society. These are crucial tools. Without these specific facilities and freedoms, a person just cannot fully develop their personality, and they certainly can't live with basic human dignity. Think of them as the absolute prerequisites for having a functioning, meaningful life in any society. Moving on to Section 2, nature and basis. We're looking at the characteristics and the origins of these rights. When we actually unpack the true nature of rights, a few core characteristics stand out. First up, they don't play favorites. Rights are equal for all. Second, they are protected by law, which gives them actual teeth. But here's a really crucial part. They absolutely must be recognized by society. I mean, think about it. A right written down on a piece of paper means absolutely nothing if the society around you refuses to acknowledge it, right? Furthermore, rights are tied to duties. It's a two-way street. You cannot demand rights without accepting the corresponding responsibilities. And finally, as we touched on just a moment ago, they are 100% essential for your development as a human being. So that brings up the million-dollar question. Where do these rights actually come from? Well, the bases of rights are pretty diverse. Some theorists argue for natural rights, meaning these are freedoms you possess simply by existing in nature, period. Others point to legal rights in the Constitution, meaning your rights strictly come from the state's formal legal framework. Then you have moral rights, which stem from human conscience, our internal sense of right and wrong. And lastly, social recognition, where rights slowly emerge over time from the accepted customs of a community. So really, it's this complex blend of nature, morality, society, and formal law. But hold on. Here's a question that forces us to look a bit closer. Is merely having a right enough, or do we also need a tangible, concrete way to protect it? If a right exists in theory, but it gets constantly violated out in the real world without any consequence, does it really exist at all? This paradox naturally pushes us to look at how we protect freedoms on a much larger global scale. Which brings us to Section 3, human rights, universal protections for everyone. The definition we use here is remarkably clean and straightforward. Human rights are the rights that every single individual possesses simply by virtue of being human. That is the whole shebang. It completely bypasses everything else. It doesn't matter what passport you hold, it doesn't matter where you were born, and it doesn't matter what specific government happens to rule over you. Unlike standard legal rights, which are granted and can be taken away by a state constitution, human rights are inherent. You have them for no other reason than the fact that you are human.
Now, when considering the specific characteristics that make human rights so distinct, you'll see they are universal, meaning they apply absolutely everywhere. They are indivisible. This is a big one. It means it's a package deal. You can't just pick and choose which ones to grant and ignore the rest. They are equal and inherent, meaning, again, you are born with them. And their ultimate overarching goal? To protect human dignity across the entire globe, no matter the circumstance. Let's ground all this abstract theory with some concrete examples. We're talking about the right to life, the right to education, freedom of expression, the right to equality, religious freedom. These aren't just high-minded concepts debated in university halls. These are the practical, everyday boundaries that allow individuals to live free from oppression. They are the actual mechanics of a free society.
All right, Section 4, a real-life example. Let's actually see these rights in action.
Picture this scenario. Imagine a student is denied admission to a school solely based on their caste or their religion. Now, this isn't just an administrative inconvenience, right? It is a direct, devastating violation of both the right to equality and the right to education. It's a textbook example of a complete failure of social recognition, where society is failing to uphold the basic dignity of that individual.
Look at this stark difference here. Think about a world without enforceable rights. It's a world largely defined by discrimination and denial, like on the left side of the screen. Contrast that with what happens when rights are actively utilized. If that student uses the law to demand justice, their dignity is protected. It proves that rights are not just static rules sitting in a dusty book, they are active, powerful tools meant to secure human dignity against prejudice. Okay, before we wrap up, if you want a brilliant, foolproof memory trick to help you retain the structure of this entire explainer, maybe for an exam or just to keep it straight in your head, think of the letters R, B, H. Step 1 is R for rights, knowing their meaning and their nature. Step 2 is B for bases, understanding exactly where those rights come from. And step 3 is H for human rights, scaling that whole concept up to the universal level. R, B, H. Keep that simple framework in mind and you literally have the entire anatomy of this topic mapped out.
So, let's do a very quick revision of what we've covered today. We define the meaning of rights as essential facilities for personal development. We explore their nature, how they have to be equal, protected by law, and tied to duties. We identified their bases ranging from natural origins to formal legal constitutions, and finally, we examined the universal inherent nature of human rights.
I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Which right do you personally use every single day, and do you take it for granted? Whether it's expressing your opinion freely, attending a class, or simply expecting to be treated equally under the law, these rights were fought for, structured, and codified. They aren't accidents. So think about which concept from today you find the most challenging and ask yourself how it actually affects your daily life. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll catch you next time.